When Summer Game Fest kicked off, a lot of Halo fans like myself were fully expecting / hoping, whatever word you want to use, that we would see Halo Infinite be shown at the Xbox Game Showcase, especially considering their new season is around the corner. But Xbox didn't show it, leaving many people to question, is Xbox just leaving Halo behind? Is that what's happening? Well, here is how this is essentially part of Xbox's long-term plan to save Halo. And if you don't have enough people to talk with about the future of Halo and Xbox, then leave a comment down below or join Patreon where we dive into this further with text, voice, and podcasts. But yeah, with Halo Infinite Season 4 around the corner, I was stoked to see not just Season 4 have its first full sizzle trailer at the Xbox Showcase, aka the place that would be the place to show their flagship franchise, and them having this confidence in it to say, hey, Halo Infinite is in that state now. That, I think, is the big thing that fans, like maybe you or me, or just people onlooking, we're just thinking, Halo Infinite is finally in that place now that people wanted at launch. It's got campaign co-op. It's got more achievements. They fixed the challenge progression. They have a lot less FOMO when it comes to buying stuff. It has way more maps. It has Forge mode. It has custom game browser. It has all these things that really make it okay. This is kind of the Halo Infinite we wanted at launch. Let's talk about that. Let's confidently boast that if we're Xbox. But they didn't show it. They not only didn't make that statement, but they also didn't even market the fact that the new season to their flagship franchise is coming up in less than 2 weeks. And they didn't bother to even mention it. Not at even their main showcase, but not even at the extended one. So, why did they not show it? It was only after the Xbox Showcase that I realized Xbox just doesn't have that confidence in Halo Infinite right now. They just don't have that feeling of safe or even it being a good idea to talk about Infinite right now. And I always encourage everybody to put aside their pride, their ego, their bias, to really think about a situation from the outside and to truly consider it from multiple angles. And as much of a Halo fan as I am, it is probably, if not is, my favorite game franchise of all time. I can admit it might not have been a good idea to show a trailer there. Hey, you're probably wanting to chew me out for saying that, but just listen for a second. If they ever market Infinite again, they do not want it to be for something lukewarm. They don't want it to just be one of those continuous ads. I bring up my Patreon now and then, but if I bring it up all the time, then people are going to start dismissing it. And I think that's a situation with Halo Infinite. If they bring it up with the littlest thing at their big events, then people are going to start dismissing it and just thinking, oh, here's Infinite again. I'm going to tune out for this. Think of all the times you see Microsoft Flight Simulator show up at Xbox shows. It seems like that game shows up all the time at Xbox shows, and whether you like the game or not, but sometimes some people just tune it out the second they see it. They don't want that to happen with Halo. And so think of Sea of Thieves, another Xbox-owned IP that was entering as a live service game. Sea of Thieves started out, okay, sure, this is neat, but there's just not enough to do. And then for the years following, yeah, there was a community on Sea of Thieves, just like there's a community for Halo Infinite, but they didn't really have a big revival effect until there was that big Pirates of the Caribbean crossover. The moment they did that Pirates of the Caribbean crossover, that's when Sea of Thieves' popularity shot through the roof, and it became just the massive hit that it is today, and Xbox purposely kind of held off marketing on Sea of Thieves too often until that moment, and that worked out for them. They do not want people to just set aside Halo Infinite and in order to do that, they have to take the blow of not talking about it until there is something big to talk about that hopefully has that revival effect. So what would be the thing to bring back Infinite, or to be that thing that Xbox does feel confident in showing off? The most obvious thing would be campaign DLC. Campaign DLC would be that thing It's just very unfortunate that the campaign team at 343 got very gutted, apparently, and we have no idea what they're doing next at that studio. So I don't know, but maybe there's another studio that they have, maybe like when Halo Wars 3 comes out, something like that, you know, maybe when that time comes, when the Halo buzz, then they could do it. That might be a good opportunity, but probably the more realistic situation with Halo Infinite specifically is when they add more than just infection and career progression. As much as that is awesome as a Halo fan, that is not enough to be that big Pirates of the Caribbean moment. To add infection and career progression, these two things, and, you know, a couple new maps too, 2 new pieces of equipment, it's awesome, you know, for those of us that have endured, but to the public, those are things that they just feel like, I wish that was in the game at launch. It has to be something bigger than that. And what I think could be, you know, bigger than that is, we know campaign AIs are in the works for Forge mode for Halo Infinite. And when that comes, I'm going to be through the moon. But also, if they add like something like Firefight, you know, it needs to be a full-on new addition to the game. But the biggest thing we also know what's in the works with is Certain Affinity. Another studio that has like 100 people working on some kind of a big expansion for Halo Infinite. We don't know what for certain. We've heard all these rumors. But once that thing with Certain Affinity is ready, I think that is when Xbox will feel okay. And the marketing people at Xbox feel okay. This is a big enough moment to hopefully bring people back. And plus, they had a lot of other things to talk about at that showcase. A lot of new IPs from their other studios. And they didn't want to bring in those potential bitter moments of talking about Redfall, about talking about Halo Infinite, talking about these things that just kind of leaves a little bit of a bitter note. They wanted to talk about the future and positive things. And so until those big additions come to Infinite, for now, it is just 343 talking to the Halo community rather than the Xbox people talking to general gamers. Xbox know how important good PR is for their brand image, and it's something that they are fighting right now. That's why they put together the showcase as they did, and that's why I put together this video to talk about, you know, the quality narrative. Does Xbox really not care about quality? Have they not been making good games? You can go to that video to find out more. Talk more in the comments down below or on Patreon/SamuraiKibiji.